Hi guys, today is the 28th of September 2021, and boy do I have a lot of cases that I'm all coming together. I'm going to be looking at John Freeman Colt, and then of course well, that's what this video will be about. I'm also going to do a video on Brian Chadwell, who is a newer suspect in the Delphi, Indiana case of the murders of Libby and Abby. All right, so let's just go ahead. Now, John Freeman Colt has just been captured, and he's in Utah. So that kind of gives me goosebumps, you know. I really think he is connected to Kylen and Crystal Turner's case. I just feel it's so strong. But I'm going to go ahead, of course, and I'm going to take a look at the cards and see what they have to say. Today I'm using the Haunted House Tarot deck. So we'll just see what comes up. Now, another Brian in this instance here of the Delphi case. Now I'm getting my suspects names mixed up, but John Freeman Colt is 42 and a Libra. Let me just see my details. So he's been wanted since June 30th of this summer, 2021, in the District of Kansas. Doesn't say where, but I'm sure many people already know, especially people from the area. His date of birth is given as 10, which is, of course, in America, it's always the month first. October 19th, 1978. He's 5'7" and 211 pounds. He's a pretty solid, heavy person. And apparently he's got a scar, it's a scars tattoo on the bolo, but he's got a tattoo of a heart with BH on his left arm. Okay, so I want to just straight up ask the question, is John Freeman Colt the murderer of Kylen and Crystal, who were camping there in Utah in Moab, or near the Moab area? I think it was just, what was it, north or south of it, their campsite. The fact that this guy, that if you hear a little bit of music in the background, I do live across the street from a school, and they got some of the band out there, so you might hear some drums and some kids and stuff. Okay, so let's just focus on John Freeman Colt. Very scary character. So is he the one that killed Kylen Schultz and Crystal Turner? I get yes. Let's see what we get. All right. We get the 10 of Pentacles. So this does initially, I'm doing a Celtic cross, by the way, show, I think that he's been captured with that 10, that he's come to an end of a cycle, all right? And his time is finished for him to be free, being able to run around and do what he's been doing. Yes. Is he responsible for them? Well, it's not getting to that quite yet. It is picking up on him being captured. This was the delay in him being captured. This is the Hangman in the Haunted House Tarot. So that's crossing. So that was the delay. And you know what else I think? It just hit me. This 10 of Pentacles. Now, he escaped from an institution. So it has that feeling to me, intuitively, when I look at this card. Like a facility, like a, you know, that he's been like in a committed situation. Okay. So that's what covers him right now. He's not running out there being able to run around free. Kind of like, no kidding, let's get on with the more important details, Maya. The basis as to whether or not he is the one shows a secret. It shows the High Priestess. And it says, use your intuition. So he's definitely been up to no good, which isn't surprising, since he's been roaming around. And I do think he's connected. All right. Okay, I had to close the skylight. Okay, so we are crowned by the 5, yes, of Cups. I do believe he is. This is my, when I'm looking at a criminal case, it's the card of that someone's passed, and there's mourning, there's grieving, there's loss. So with this crowning him, it's making me feel that he has contributed to, you know, grieving, mourning, loss. So he's contributed to causing deaths since he's been out. And in particular, as I did ask, is he responsible for their deaths, excuse me. It looks like a yes. Okay, let's see what else. This to me is another yes card. But in with the reading, it shows a very, you know, the Ace of Cups, overflowing of emotion. I feel like this guy's just a fountain of, he can't, there's no, I feel like there's no filter. There's no censor, you know, there's no inhibition with him. His emotions, I feel like, are just right there. Perched. I also believe that Yes, yeah. I definitely am getting he did it. Here, and I'm getting the sense of the delay and him being caught. We have again that Queen of Wands. Boy, she's in these cases interesting. How that figures in. But it's definitely in connection. I think, to their case. Let's pull in some other cards. The Queen of Wands is also a card of action, activity. So there is that part of it. So that's interesting. So I will just keep this Queen of Wands until I've kind of sussed out maybe better how I think she fits in. On the kind of my mental side shelf, she seems to be very pertinent. You know, there's a female figure here, an adult. All right, so here's Justice. He does have, and again, the question was, is he responsible for Kylen and Crystal? And I think yes. To me, this is his acknowledgement, almost, I feel like, of his own guilt. That he knows that the law, well, he knows that the law definitely wants him for escaping, but I think also in connection to their case. That's the secret. One of them, at least, that he's been involved in since he escaped. And in case you didn't know, this guy went to a great deal of planning to escape from the facility he did. He's shrewd. And I think a pretty good observer as a predator of human, where their vulnerability is, and how he was able to escape even. So I'm glad they caught him. I only wish it had been sooner. Now, in the environment is, yeah, I got this card when I was reading on Kylen and Crystal. And it's the independent woman card for me. That's enjoying the outdoors and is confident, is able to live independently. I think somehow this aspect, or women who are like this, really get under this man's skin. I mean, anyway, he's out to lunch, so I do feel like the cards are giving me special cards in the way that I have a special kind of understanding with the tarot, so that when I see certain ones, I just kind of know. And I think other readers tend to do this too. You develop certain cards that mean certain things, and there's a kind of a rapport with the tarot that you've developed. When you see them, then you know, oh my gosh. And that is aligning here. Hopes and Fears is a Queen of Cups. I believe that's those women. I do. So, in his hopes and fears, I believe he fears being connected to cases like theirs that he's in. I'm using the cards. Remember, all alleged for entertainment purposes only, but to see if he is guilty of being the person that killed them. And I'm getting he is. And I'm getting special cards that say, yeah, he's the one, because doesn't like independent women. I'm getting 2 women in my card, in my reading. Now you'll see women depicted here also. In fact, when I stop and take a look, with the exception, well, no, that doesn't really, yeah, no, it does show people. With the exception of the first card, the 10, all, not all, but most of the other cards are women, have a woman depicted on them. And it intuitively also, the skeletal remains here that were being shown as the hanged man, the delay. That too gives me the intuitive feeling of responsible for deaths, responsible for bad things happening and a delay in him being found and possibly victims, right? But also the humiliation, the way that the ladies were posed. This, yeah, it's him. And the final card on whether or not he is the person responsible, yes, is the 8 of Swords. For me, this is the you're going to jail card, not just jail but prison in this case. It is the card of restraint, and it can be, it is also the abduction card that I get. But it tells me, I almost getting goosebumps. This is the guy that did this to them. I believe they will figure that out. He's got a very troubled, busy history, I think, where women are concerned. And certainly shows that in the cards. And there's going to be, with this High Priestess at the bottom, there's a lot of hidden information. And some of it law enforcement does know and isn't revealing because they have to protect their case. But, and I'm not going to jeopardize, I'm not willing to do that. But I'm just going to say that this is another one of those cases. We've got a cluster of them where there's a good deal of information that has yet to be revealed. And it goes back. So I'm feeling like this guy has activity, he's done a lot of things, not all that we, of course, as with these cases, know about. But there's going to be, as with, I'm seeing the other cases that are going on presently, it's going to have a twist. There's going to be like, what? Really compelling hidden information that will come to light. All right, let's pull a couple clarifiers and then I will post this. we have the King of Swords. Okay, this is him, because his birthday, pretty sure it's going to be him, because his birthday is in Libra. So he's an air sign, and the swords are air signs. Yep, it's him. And I also think there's a nod to the law. These are the rules. These are society's also basic, tenets that we live by. So he's being, I think he's going to be definitely questioned in depth about his involvement with this case. And of course they're not going to say, hey, tell us about your involvement. But they're going to be digging with him, because they know there's a lot that he's been up to since he's been on the run in June. It is now the end of September. It's given him a lot of time. And these cards, like I said, do show him connected to Kylen and Crystal, in my opinion. Here he is. It's like, you did it. You know you're guilty. He knows it's wrong, too. He knows it's wrong. So it's not like he can plead insanity or something. He's very calculated. He is, of course, not going, like most of these fellas, not anyone that can be changed. He needs to be locked up in a much more secure way. It's pathetic that he was able to do what he did. Yes, he is responsible. We get we get judgment, and the past, a card of nostalgia, or the past, to do with children. I see children in there. Look, there's a woman and a child in each picture. That's interesting. This is a graveyard. He's killed women and children. He's killed women and children. That's part of maybe, there's greater, he's going to be held to account for it. Yes? Hi, Pierre. You okay? Yeah, I love you. She's my baby. There's deceit with him. This is the whole ambush thing that he likes to do. Watch people. Very predatorial, just reminds me of, he's hunting people. He needs help. And he may have also been able to find somebody to give him some kind of help in this activity. Okay, so sorry for the interruption. My poor kitty cat had a hairball, so I had to help her out. Okay, back to the reading. The Seven of Swords and that Six of Pentacles sure looks like there is a deceitful element that we're being shown, somebody not being honest. I also felt like I feel like with regard to him, there will be more assistance given. I just feel like people want to help in this case, because help is being offered. There is, in connection to deceit. Now, it could mean, did he have help? I think he did have some help. I mean, he did get help to get a motorbike. This guy, I mean, the background is of how he created his plan to escape, and involving purchasing a motorcycle, somebody doing that for him. So this is somebody helping him to be shady, somebody helping him to avoid getting caught. Okay, let's just continue. We have the Eight of Pentacles here. Quite skilled. But that activity that he prides himself in is going to bite him, on the butt right here with Judgment. Because I get a very strong sense that the universe, yes, is holding this man to account for crimes against women and children, in particularly, that are heinous. Morally, just not, and just disgusting. We're just going to cap it like that. And it's his card. This is him. So I feel like we're going to find more out about this individual that's a pretty repugnant human being. Very, very sick person. And, but just because he is not, all right, doesn't mean, and just because he's a sick guy doesn't mean that he isn't capable of being manipulative, very aware of what he's doing, knowing that it's not right. And that doesn't matter to him. What matters to him is fulfilling his fantasy. This is being outside. This is also, to me, being the wanted person, being out there on the run for these crimes. And it's showing me that he has a past where women, I think, and children that didn't do anything to him at all. This is, it shows a kind of, frankly, a sweetness and a vulnerability, and he just seems to despise it. That's really the word. He despises women. He despises. It's strange. Despises their. But what do you want when you've got somebody that's not all together in the head, and in the heart and the mind? Because it's not just one asset of that person. It is the whole enchilada that is like missing very important empathy and this sort of thing. I just want to see if I'm getting can get any more. Kind of hits off these cards. So yes, I totally feel that he is connected to the Kylen, Schultz, and Crystal Turner case. I don't know here, but it's like, will they bring somebody in that they think can really? it could be even just a detective that's particularly good at it in questioning him, but kind of bringing up some morality issue. I don't know if this guy has some... Well, he's definitely got an issue with morality, obviously. But I don't think he cares. So I'm not sure why. Other than for the universe to say, you have gone way too far. This is, not going to be okay. You're getting locked up. And there's past. I cannot help but feel like, yes, there are. He has done things with regard to children. And again, all these readings that I do are alleged, and for educational and in entertainment purposes. But what you can do with tarot. But okay, I'm getting a really strong sense of the past and children. And like I said, a sense of odd... It's like he takes it out on them, that he doesn't fit in. There's some frustration with him. But, trying to think like somebody like him is just going to give you a headache. And is really sickening. I feel like I need that third row, so I'll just finish off with that. Here we have the vehicles, okay? This is the movement. I know something, he had a motorcycle, but there might be more than one vehicle that he's had a ability to access and use. I wonder if he stole a vehicle from somebody he targeted. But back to this case, back to Kylen and Crystal. This to me makes me feel like he watched them, followed them, and I think, yeah, he committed that crime. Ambushed them. And with the Chariot here, he feels like he won some kind of battle against them. So that matches with what I was picking up for whoever it was when I read on Kylen and Crystal. We get the... Yeah, this is one of the ladies. Yeah, he did it. There's the fantasy element and not having both oars in the water, this guy. He lives in a lot in his head. A lot. And it's not a healthy place. Probably going back to his childhood. And there's just this thing about women and girls. Just, there's a fantasy aspect here, but there's also, I think it's the lack. He takes out on them, typically, as these types of men like him do, the rejection or the frustrations that he has in relationships, I feel like, then get taken out on a victim. And this is going back for a while. This is an established pattern. He is 42 years old. But I do feel that he will be held to account for their murders. And I believe there will be evidence linking him with that 8 of Pentacles, strong evidence too. Maybe in particular to one of the women especially. I'm feeling probably Kylen. There's going to be a lot of help because people just find this so morally reprehensible, what he did. I also feel that he thinks that those two women being together as partners may have really put his nose out of joint. He may have had to leave it to this corrupt type of person to say, and I have to cast judgment on people that are not like him, that have nothing to do with him. Just annoys me. I just want to knock his teeth in. These people. He will be judged for this. I also feel that, yeah, he's connected, and I feel that there is just how do you put it? People are ready to just read him the riot act for how disgusting they think he is, and how these are also all the laws that he's broken. He's gonna, it's gonna be a considerable sheet, including their deaths. And this will be trouble for the people that have aided and abetted him. They'll get them too, by the way, with this 10 of, which is the Wheel of Fortune. So those who have helped him to get away, to physically move around, get the vehicles, they're going to be in deep doo-doos in the future. And they will be caught. There will be successful, I feel like, catching of these people. There may be a woman that helped him. But regardless, we find a woman here, and the card of the Queen of Pentacles, and I think it is one of the two, in particularly women. I think probably Kylen may have been particularly more attracted to. And there's a fantasy energy around her. More than one. I don't know, did he have help with, again, someone joining him in this? I don't think so. I think he likes to have complete control over victims and the whole scene. But I do think he does get people to help him get vehicles, to help him be able to commit these crimes. Though they may not be there with him while he's doing this, they're as good as, because they're assisting him and enabling him. Yes, I'm getting a message that enablers will also be brought and caught and brought to justice. The feeling here, again, that there might be one more female adult that he has done something to. That's possible. I don't think, while he's been out, that these two are the only ones he has unfortunately attacked. He doesn't care. There's the card of indifference, apathy. He's not connected the way that the rest of us are, because he's a sociopath. He's not well. Yeah, 2 4s. He'll be put back in a very secure facility. really, really ill. Also, may be pertaining to other people that he may have done something to. The Four of Swords can be where a body has been left, or like a grave site, whether or not they've been covered or buried, or it's where remains are. I feel like this is a family of another victim. And he's not talking, he just doesn't care. They might be saying, so-and-so is another person's missing. This is an example that how it could go, in my opinion. Something along those lines, but I can't help but feel like there's maybe one more female that he's done something to that will come to light. If not, this just could be evidence at also where Kylen and Crystal were murdered. Things that link him to that location. I feel like there's evidence. I feel like this guy's kind of sloppy. He might plan things really well. I think he doesn't want to leave evidence. But nobody wants to leave evidence. But I think some will be found, despite, I think, his attempts. Because he's pretty shrewd. There's still a sloppiness about him. There's a recklessness, rather. And I think it's once he gets into and loses control. The interesting thing is he's very controlled enough to be able to create this plan of attack. That's a great deal of control. And control to manifest that and make that happen. But when this is all done so he thinks he's in control, but he's not in complete control because he's losing himself in what he's doing when he's attacking people. He will be back. But again, I cannot shake that. I feel like there's possibly another case. This could be a father of one of the girls, and I'm thinking maybe Kylen's father, because I think he's the one. I don't know anything about Crystal's father, if he's still alive or who he is. I don't know any of that, but I see a man here that feels like the weight of the world is upon him. Now that could be that could be John, especially being caught. It's like that's it. But it could also be somebody related to these women that feels there's a burden here. Somebody that's been through the ordeal. It's messed with their head. Who is this male? Is this him? 2 more men. Well, interestingly enough, this one is abusive as well. These could be people that he hooked up with while he was running around. These could be men that helped him while, to get free, not, want to set up the bikes and there's other stuff. I also maybe just a couple of fellows that he got involved with. They look like they were involved. There's that really heavy energy of the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Wands. There's abuse around this male. And violence. Violence. Men that like violence. They will be exposed. I think they this is that contemplative energy that is exposed. To me, it's like were these people that helped him to come up with the idea that cheered him on or something. I mean, I'm not sure. Who are these two other men? Could one of this could be Brian Laundrie for all I know. The fact of Utah and another male here also. I think this could be a nod to saying that this guy gets caught, but we've got Brian yet, and there is actually another fellow who has issues, and it could be Chad. I'm wondering if it's not Chad, Brian Chadwell, who is the most recent suspect for Delphi. But I feel like the reading is showing me, okay, this guy gets caught, and he's the one that's guilty, truly, of having killed these two women. I do not believe that this guy killed Abby. Not Abby, Gabby. No. So he's responsible for these cases. I think the cards are trying to say there's two more to go. We got this guy, and there's two more significant sociopathic, toxic men out there that are doing these things. And at least publicly, I think the cards are letting me see that Brian could be next. And maybe somehow something will occur. I've got to read on that Brian Chadwell. But here we're still looking at John Freeman Colt, and we see the issues with women. And there is an end. There is an end. He's not going to be able to harm women anymore. I do feel like women on the other side that have been victims, and their mothers, and particularly in some cases here. But more to the point of just the targeting of women, I'm getting the message. We're going to be dealing with society working on that issue, which is long overdue, like since the beginning, you know. But I just keep getting a feeling like the cards have been kind of telling me these guys that are doing this, there's something happening where it's a shift, and they're going to get caught. There's a shift happening, I think, where we have bigoted crimes of hate, and these are hate crimes. I think he hated the fact that they were clearly not interested in men, and I think he hated the fact that they were simply female. This woman hating thing. I think we're going to get a lot more cases just coming into the spotlight, so people really understand the universe wants us to work on this. This is the violence against women. Yes, there we have the bigot, the the bully card of the Five of Swords, and the Three of Cups, like this is something fun to do. There's a woman here, though, that's underwater with the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is usually celebratory, you know? But I feel like the bully's days of celebrating and having fun bullying people are over. Here we have the World card, and we have the powerful card of the Empress. It is the feminine, I think, extremely spiritually powerful energy that is coming in and saying no more of this. We're going to start working on bringing this cycle to a close, and which is a very long cycle of where bullies get away with kicking up their heels at taking out the populace. All right, so activity with the Knight of Wands and the Magician. This manipulation, this ability to do this. So there's going to be a lot more. There's, I believe, the universe wants us to talk about domestic violence here with also the Magician and the Knight of Wands. Communication and using different tools of communication, because we really need to address this issue in our society. Yes, that women have to endure so much, when men just think they have a right to go up to them. I think it's not all men, of course, but the type of men that do make it overbearing, their unwanted attention. And there needs to be balance. You need to respect boundaries. Trying to get that as a way that people in society emulates. We've endured, women have endured far too much here, and other vulnerable children and stuff. Domestic violence as well. Ooh, okay. All right, I'm going to cap it off here. Yes, this possessiveness that you think that you've got a right to be suspicious and super jealous and insecure, that this is, we're going to be having that conversation also. So if you appreciate this content, please make sure to hit the like button. Make sure that you share. And if you don't see me for a while and you're wondering why, YouTube may have bounced your subscription. That's been happening. They like to do that after I get subscribers, then they start cutting them for some reason out. So I'm sure, anyway, I've had people say that. So make sure from time to time that you're subscribed. All right, that's it. Hope you have a great day. I'm on now to work on the Mia Marcano case. Have a great day.